What's good, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Playconomics Podcast. And today, we are breaking down the business and answering an age-old question. What is the best way to play video games? This is gonna be a two-part episode.
No, stop.
So
you did not 90s. You did not burn notice to be continued part 1 me here.
Like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a part of not only this epic video conversation, but any epic video conversation that me and Bobby have. So let's get into it. Before we get started, because
what are you trying to get me to believe here?
I'm gonna I was gonna ask you how your day was. Don't even care.
No,
You're just in it.
No,
You're
you
just
weren't.
in it.
You
it's
asked.
in the script. It is in my script to ask you how your day was.
My day is just getting started. We're filming at the crack of dawn. I've got the Buc-ee's cup.
Yo, the
Filled.
Buc-ee's.
I've got the allergy medication flowing through my body at Mach 10.
Love it, because last week was obviously you guys didn't see it post edit, but Bobby was miserable with the sneezes.
Maybe it'll happen again. But you know,
yeah,
maybe I'll force it to happen again.
Minute 45 seconds of Bobby just hold on. Just a minute and 45 seconds of that. Minute and 45 seconds.
The thing that you are choosing to leave out, is that we still got a great episode out of it, Matt.
We still got a great episode out of it. And speaking of great episodes, today is potentially the greatest day in Playconomics history because me and Bobby will be settling and agreeing on what is the best way to play video games.
I don't think so.
What do I mean by that? Is it PC, mobile, or console? That's the question today. See if you can figure out why there's going to need to be a part 2. First, right off the bat, to rip the Band-Aid off.
Screaming into the mic the whole time.
To rip off the Band-Aid. The history of mobile games. Going to give you a brief history. And I told Bobby a week ago, no charts on this episode. This is facts. There's no feelings. I did not lie. There's no charts. Let me know in the comments if you like the charts. Do you want me to put charts back in? Because I could have. I chose not to because Bobby doesn't appreciate them. But if you appreciate them, let me know. We're starting in 2023 when Nokia released the N-Gage, a hybrid device combining a mobile game and a handheld game console. Had zero widespan success. Absolute hot garbage. No one bought it. Then we get to the mid-2000s. Java, the Micro Edition, and Brew platforms.
Did you say 2023?
No, 2003.
No, you said 20. That's why I was confused.
My bad. We're starting in 2003. Nokia N-Gage, terrible device. We go to the Java ME, still terrible device. Had a couple sports games, Tetris, Bejeweled, the standards, nothing crazy. Then we hit 2007. Smartphone revolution, baby.
Mm-hmm.
The launch of the Apple iPhone revolutionized mobile gaming with its touchscreen interface and powerful hardware. The App Store was introduced in 2008 and provided an easy way to distribute your games on the platform. And the birth of an icon began. In 2008, Google launched the Android market, now Google Play, expanding the mobile game ecosystem. Then we
is the Android phone the icon in this scenario?
No.
Thank God.
It's definitely the Apple phone. Is
Nokia.
More the two game stores together, absolute wild. 2010, we get Angry Birds.
Mm-hmm.
Literal cultural phenomenon. 2012, we get Clash of Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans.
Sorry, and then I was gonna say, and then Candy Crush. Lots of C's in there.
You've been
And then
drinking,
in
haven't you?
2016, we get
I'm not
the
hearing
greatest
no.
mobile. We get the greatest mobile game to ever exist, and for 7 to 8 months, total world peace. And then Hillary Clinton said Pokemon Go to the polls and ruined absolutely every semblance of peace we would ever have for the rest of our nation's history. We got Pokemon Go in 2016. The big thing that happened with Clash of Clans and Candy Crush is it introduced the freemium model, and then Pokemon Go completely took over the game with, again, freemium plus augmented reality plus location-based gaming, and became a complete cultural sensation. Modern mobile gaming continues to grow. Now we have titles like PUBG, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, all console quality experiences on smartphones. Are they as good as the console version? No, but you're getting the exact same game you are on console, on mobile. Cloud gaming services like Google Stadia, RIP, NVIDIA GeForce Now, and Xbox.
Stadia had more potential. You know what? You could tell what my next episode is.
Yeah, there's a whole episode about it. Google Stadia, NVIDIA GeForce Now, xCloud, all high quality gaming services, all available on mobile devices. Then we have esports and competitive gaming, mobile games like PUBG, Free Fire, mobile, or all competitive games that are now in the mobile arena. There's professional esports players that are going to clown on you on a smartphone.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how upsetting that must be? To be lost by like you're a grown man. You first of all, you're a grown man who professionally plays video games.
Yep.
Top G, Chad. And then you get beat by somebody on a phone. Terrible.
Mobile gaming has evolved from simple monochrome games on early mobile devices to sophisticated, graphically rich experiences, almost rivaling console and PC gaming. Its accessibility, affordability, and continuous technological advancements have made it a dominant force in the gaming industry. Let me give you some highlights on some of the key mobile games that you could play if you chose mobile games as your gaming platform. Subway Surfers, Stumble Guys,
Stumble Guys? What in the hell is
Roblox? Very similar to Fall Guys. Very similar to Fall Guys. Very similar to Fall Guys. Roblox. Why Fall Guys isn't just on mobile and on this list, I don't know. Candy Crush Saga. Race Master 3D. Huh?
That sounds...
8-ball. 8-ball pool. You can play in mobile chat. You can play in text messages.
We'll go back to what game?
Race Master 3D.
Everyone in that marketing department.
Fired.
Know, listen, that is the worst name I've ever heard.
Yeah, but you get away with this shit. Mobile game bullshit.
That makes Project Triangle Strategy look like it deserves a Pulitzer Prize.
Project Triangle Strategy still hurts me to this day because I paid $60 for that. With that being said,
keep it rolling, bud.
Pros. We're going to do the cons first, and I'm going to win you back with the pros. I'm going to tell you everything bad first, and then finish off with why you should still go into mobile gaming anyway. Cons. Hardware limitations. For now, both PC and console give you a significantly better gaming experience.
Objection, Phoenix Wright.
Whole
Phoenix
thing.
Wright. How do you feel about the fact that I can play Resident Evil 4 in its entirety, remake, high fidelity, as well as Death Stranding?
Have you?
I told you I bought them on my Mac and my phone.
Yep. And how was it? Was it as good of an experience as the other ones?
Not when I'm playing with touch controls, but when because
it's funny you say that. My second con is touch controls. Can be offset by backbone, but for the most part, touchscreens suck and they're inaccurate and annoying. Not a great way to play video games. But you put the backbone on it, all of a sudden you're good to go again. Third one, battery life, especially for Apple products, is absolutely hot garbage. Fourth and final one is the paywall. Most of your content is going to be by tiny microtransactions. Yeah, you get the game for free, and the average cost of the game we'll get to in the pro. But the lackluster library of games that you can pay no money for or very little money for and then not have to pay ever again, insanely slim. Insanely slim.
But you love microtransactions. What are you saying?
But now
You
we get to the
love
pros.
buying the crystal to make the timer less in your
I'm just
World
saying,
of Warcraft farm.
They don't have World of Warcraft farm. They do have a mobile game. I do enjoy it. I have not yet spent any money on it.
I don't believe you. I don't believe
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The pros of mobile gaming. Accessibility. You have a phone, right? You probably do. Download a game. Next. The cost. Software costs are extremely cheap. The average mobile game is about 47 cents, which is the difference between 0 and 99, which are where 90% of the games are. Clearly a little skewed to the 0.
I imagine the chart you would have made for this is between 0 and 99.
The content. Relatively replayable, infinite evergreen content. You just have to pay 99 cents every 16 seconds. The community. Huge player base, huge fandom, lots of people playing mobile games. Literally everybody you ever talk to that has a phone has played some type of mobile game. The problem is, in the gaming ecosystem, they are on the lowest tier of the fan base. Just if you want to be in that fan base, you're fine.
Sub lowest tier.
Yeah, there's Jacob, and then there's people that actively play mobile games. The last pro is the growing market. More and more people and more money is getting funneled into mobile games because of their extremely predatory pricing strategies and the ease of making a ton of money on very little work or some type of half-assed port to give you a game that you could play on console or PC and putting it directly on the phone. So if you're wondering where mobile games ranks on the mobile games PC and console, it will be at the end.
Because if you recall, Matt, what do I refer to something, even in day-to-day life, that is just obtuse and hard to wrap your head around and weirdly more complicated than it should be or initially appears to be?
I'll give the comments a second to answer. In 3, 2, 1. Mobile game bullshit. That's what it is. So what we go into next after mobile games is PC. PC. And the early humble beginnings of the PC gaming started in 1971. 1700s would have been different. A video game in 1700s, completely different. 1971, we get the Oregon Trail, which is developed originally as an educational tool, one of the earliest examples of a computer video game. 1977, we get the Apple II. We get Apple Adventure to appear on there. 1980s, we continue to see the development, and eventually in the middle of the 80s, we get Tetris, one of the biggest games in gaming history. 1990s absolutely takes off with Civilization, Monkey Island 2, 1993's Doom, 94, it wouldn't be a Playconomics video made by Matt if I didn't mention in 1994 was Warcraft, Orcs and Humans, started potentially the biggest video game franchise in history, and personally, one of the most important games in video game history. Late 1990s, we get Quake, StarCraft, a Blizzard game, Half-Life, and then in 1999, EverQuest popularizes the MMO genre. But then we get to the 2000s, where World of Warcraft dominates the MMO genre. We get Battlefield 1942, RuneScape, The Sims. We continue into the 2010s, where we get StarCraft 2, Civilization 5, Minecraft, Diablo 3, Going Home, Papers, Please. We get Overwatch, we get PlayerUnknown's Battleground, and then later we get Fortnite to the table. It continues to develop where we get Valorant, Cyberpunk, Among Us, cloud gaming, virtual reality, anything you could possibly want to play. And if you want to play it at the absolute best quality, it's going to be on PC. PC has gone from a simple text-based adventure to diverse and expansive industry-defining video games. It has the highest quality across the three various genres, and its ability to adapt and innovate continuously makes it a cornerstone of how video games are played.
Objection!
Bobby, what?
Objection. It's the highest quality way. Does a PC release not go by where it's like the PC jank?
That is not because of the
Star
PC's
Wars
power.
Jedi
That's
Survivor.
because of development. That has nothing to do with the PC. It has everything to do with the development of the game. That is not, I'm not going to, like, if a game doesn't do well on Xbox, it's not Xbox's fault. It's the software's fault.
That's like Toyota saying, all right, we're going to make the 2024 Toyota Corolla, okay? But in every different one, we're just going to put different engines in each car.
That's like,
so they'll run at different frame rates.
That's like getting a 2024 Toyota Corolla and then putting a different product or a different radio into it and being like, this doesn't connect perfectly. You know why? Because Toyota didn't make it. It is not PC's fault that video games are difficult to put on PC. And it's just unanimously by far the best experience you will have playing a video game is on PC. It is the highest quality and the highest. If you want the absolute perfect experience and you want the highest graphical fidelity, you want the highest frame rate, it will be on PC. There is no console that can compete with a high-end gaming PC. And it's the reason why everyone that is very, 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 very gaming focused eventually goes into PC gaming. But I digress. Let's get into a few games of note. League of Legends. And for games of note, I'm going to put games that are specifically only on PC because there is going to be crossover and we will see that in the pros cons list. Games of note: League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Half-Life Alyx, and with the best piece of it being most games that are on console also eventually come to PC. So as long as you're cool with a little time delay, boom, 100% ready for PC gaming. Cons: extremely high barrier of entry. All of the things that I had said originally with the graphical fidelity, the frame rates, the great way to experience games, very high technical requirements. Because of that, it's extremely expensive. A gaming laptop will set you back $2,500. Gaming computer somewhere right around that range, but the price eventually is as much as you want to pay. The bare minimums are in like the $1,000 to $1,500 for modern games that you're going to want to play at a good frame rate and fidelity. Everything after that, if you want to pay money for it, you could infinitely scale your computer to be as expensive as you would like to be. It's completely uncapped.
Then you got to update your drivers and make sure your graphics card works with your motherboard, works with your RAM.
Yeah, but if you buy
your PCI, my PCIe slot isn't.
If you buy a pre-made laptop or computer, you don't have to worry about any of that.
No,
and every 10 years you have to update.
But hold on. But then the problem with you PC people, I'll lump you in with this, is you have this weird class segregation system where, like, if you walk into like a serious game, like a serious basement dwelling PC owner, and you're like, hey man, what's your rig? And they're like, well, I'm running an RTX 8000 and I'm using the new Threadripper from AMD, and I configured my RAM so it runs non-sequentially, like I put it in every other port, and the RAM has RGB. What about you, Matt? You're like, oh, I bought a pre-made laptop. What is that person? What are they going to do to you? They'll probably mace you. They'll probably pepper spray you.
They will 100% tell me how I made a mistake, but...
Well, actually, Matthew, you should have done it when you were configuring your laptop.
Yeah, exactly. So again,
up nerd.
Instant.
Oh, it's just every bone in my body.
Instant Con is definitely the price. The bare minimum to play most games is exceptionally higher than a mobile game or a console. Knowledge, it is very difficult to buy a gaming computer if you were just like, the people that I'm most concerned for are parents of children that want a gaming computer. Because
they've basically lost their child.
It's not even that. It is like impossible for somebody that doesn't know anything about video games and computers to successfully buy a gaming computer. I was watching TikTok the other day with Sarah, and the lady was like,
"Bro, you're done. You're done.
No.
You're done.
No.
You were watching a TikTok on making a PC."
No. I was sent a TikTok about making a PC, and it was one of the like couple posts where the girl was like, "I'm gonna surprise my husband with a gaming PC," and then puts this ridiculous rig out there that's like $15,000, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't even remember what graphics card I got," and I was like, "So you didn't buy this? You did not buy this, and this is a staged video. There is no way that you would spend $15,000 on a computer and not know what graphics card was in it."
The smell in those comments must have been hurt.
It was wild.
If you could see in the background, there's the screws to open her case are Allen keys, but she has a screwdriver, which technically means she didn't put this together herself.
Yeah, it completely wild. But to the cons list, the knowledge and the amount of research that you need to put into buying a gaming computer or gaming laptop, way more than, oh, my smartphone plays it, or just getting a PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch. Way more difficult.
The best meme I've ever seen of this is the Will Smith iRobot meme where he's interviewing the robot, and he's like, and Will Smith's like, my PlayStation 5 can do this, and the robot's like, well, the PC can do this, and then the other one, Will Smith's like, but can your PC do this? And
Exactly.
No, Jacob.
A lot of people that are screaming from the PC hills have a very bare minimum PC, because again, they are expensive. Even the people that are die by this stance, it's really hard for people to get into peak PC content, especially if you're gonna want like cutting edge technology. Very, very expensive.
I almost just made the worst joke I've ever made.
Yeah, you're fine. Then you do miss a few first party releases. You miss most of Sony is time delayed now. If not, you don't get it at all. And then if you want to play a Nintendo game, you will never ever in a million years play it on a PC. Xbox, it has xCloud. You could play it on a PC, no issue there. Last con, zero mobility. If you want to take your gaming PC somewhere, good luck.
Load it onto a hand truck.
Yeah, it's really risky. If you get a laptop, you're spending more money for a lesser product, like I have, because I did want the mobility of a laptop. It's very, very difficult to move.
And even gaming laptops, I'm sorry, you're lugging around a small HVAC unit as your gaming laptop.
Yeah, it is like a daily concern when we do these podcasts, whether or not you can hear the fan of my laptop. If I was playing a video right now while doing this, you would hear the fan. But in a nutshell, really, really high barrier of entry, but also the highest form of experiencing video games that you will get if you are willing to make that investment. And then we get into it. Then we get into the brief history of console gaming. The early days, 1970s, we got the Megavox. Nobody cares. 1977, we got Atari, the Atari 2600, or how I said it, the 2600 in my last video where I rated these. We got Space Invaders. We got Pac-Man. Then we get to the 80s. We see the NES. We see Legend of Zelda. We see the Sega Genesis. Then we go to the 90s, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Some say the greatest Zelda game to ever exist. Some people are wrong.
Stand up in the comments. Stop it. Stand up in the comments.
In 1994.
Link to the Past fans, stand up. Do you understand if they hadn't done this? And I'm sorry.
There's 6 of them.
I'm sorry. People.
There's 6 of them.
Echoes of Wisdom, the Zelda-only game, is stupid and dumb and has nothing to do with the fact that Zelda is the main character. They were like, oh, what if we continued to just take all of the mechanics and make them top-down? Great. Novel. Inspirational. Just give us a Link to the Past remake. I don't need to move. Oh, I can move rocks. Just put me in charge of all the companies. I will solve everything.
Sony enters the market with the PlayStation, introducing CD-based gaming and popular titles like Final Fantasy VII and Gran Turismo. In 1996, we get the N64, we get Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda's Ocarina of Time. Then we go into the 2000s with the PlayStation 2. It's kind of a DVD player. It's kind of not, but it does really good in sales. Then you have Halo. Then you have the GameCube with Zelda, the Wind Waker, Smash Bros. Melee. Then you start getting into the 360, the PS3, then we get the Wii, and then the Wii U is terrible, but like at the same time it's still advancing. And then now we're starting to get into modern days with PlayStation 4, Uncharted, The Last of Us 2, Xbox releasing Xbox Game Pass, Switch, hybrid console, Breath of the Wild, Amazon, New Horizons. Then we get the PS5 and the Series X with 4K gaming, ray tracing, hardware advancement, fast loading times, super cool features that we know and love today. Future gaming trends are cloud gaming, virtual reality, and continued other innovations to just make the games look cooler, look better, and play more fun. This is where we're going to do the pros and the cons. We're going to do the cons again first. Software, on average, is by far the most expensive, with a $69.99 price tag, and if it's not this generation game, a $60 price tag. Very little wiggle room for a newer game. If you want to play a game the day it releases, you're going to pay $70, or you're going to be part of some type of subscription service. Online games, if you want to play anything that doesn't have baked in, it needs online to play, something like Apex Legends, Fortnite, you need to buy some form of their subscription service to get online gaming compatibility. And then the console wars and exclusives. This is where everything is the heaviest. If you only invest in one console and it's your only way to play a video game, you are going to miss out on the content, not only from the other consoles, but also those other platforms, because there's very little cross compatibility between the other two in a single console. The pros, the affordability per the power. You get something that is, to a normal, everyday person, just as good as a computer with a lower cost. If you don't care about 120 frame rates per second and you're cool with 60, because we see it's 60, so it really shouldn't matter if it's above that. You don't care if your graphics aren't the absolute peak top tier. You want your games dedicatedly made for your console, so they may run a little better on launch day. There's still plenty of problems with them on launch day for the most part. The accessibility, it's very, very easy to purchase a console. You go to the store, you get an Xbox, you get a PlayStation, you get a Switch, you buy a game, you plug it in, you are now playing video games. Exclusives, this is where, if you do want exclusives, this is really the only place that you are going to get hard, fast exclusives that are significantly worthwhile. PlayStation and Nintendo drastically outperform Xbox in this area, because all Xbox games come to PC, so you automatically, for Xbox, get rid of your exclusivity tag. PlayStation has tons of exclusives. They are starting the trend of putting them on PC later on, which, depending on whether or not you want to play a game right away on release, or if you're just going to play it at some point because you have a huge backlog, PlayStation may be the place for you. Nintendo, if you want Nintendo games, this is the only way to play them. It'll be here, and it'll be here for the rest of your goddamn life, because there is no shot Nintendo ever goes cross-platform. Not ever. Not
we
once.
had them in the moment there. There was a little moment in the Wii
U. Because the Wii U was hot garbage, and they were like, listen, I think they hit rock bottom. They were like, why don't we just get rid of exclusivity? And the owner of Nintendo just slapped that man across the face and was like, never. And then they made the switch. And they're like, we need to get slightly better so that people don't completely ignore our console. Console gaming in a nutshell is it maximizes affordability while balancing it with performance, access to different titles, etc. Some notable games that you could play. Xbox has 0 of them, so I can't name a single Xbox game because they all come to PlayStation or they all come to PC.
Or not
Sony's moving towards it. But 18 months ago, I would have said for Sony, Spider-Man, Last of Us, God of War. Now I could basically say Horizon is a
Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be exclusive for long. That's also going to be
okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Listen to me.
And then literally any Nintendo game. Any Nintendo game, Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, you want to play it? It's not coming to PC, so you can play Power World or some shit like that. In closing to part 1 of this episode.
There's a part 1?
Console is clearly the best way to play video games. You get the biggest bang for your buck for $500-$600.
What am I agreeing with here?
Do you agree? Do you agree that console is the greatest?
Yes,
perfect.
I already know what next week is going to be.
Easy
I already
win.
know what you're going to try to do next week.
The order of the video games experiences are mobile games, then PC, then consoles. For the average consumer, a PC is too expensive and too complicated to really be number 1. It might be the peak gaming experience, but if you mess it up, you will literally hate video games for the rest of your life, because you're going to drop $1,500 and then not be able to play your game and be absolutely furious because there's nothing you can do to make your $1,500 laptop better. And you're going to find that out after you buy and try to play a video game. So not fun, not a cool experience. Mobile game bullshit. That's the only piece I'm going to give you there. Consoles are absolutely amazing. They're dedicated. They have exclusives. They're relatively
with the
cheap.
Sauce, as the kids would say.
Yes, they're relatively cheap when it comes to a hobby. For $500 and then $60 whenever you want to play something new, without the freemium bullshit that you could just get. Like if you want the game for Fortnite, you pay the $600 to get it. Boom, you got Fortnite. It is by far and away the most accessible, high-end way to play video games anyone will ever get. And because of that, consoles are the best place to play any type of video game. But
here we go. Here's the cliffhanger.
Which console's the best?
Okay, I'm hanging up.
And if you like what you heard here, like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you do not miss next week, maybe the week after's episode, where we discuss what is the best video game console ever made.
And until then,
happy gaming.